You've already started your journey and you're looking forward to expanding your knowledge or your skills on Amazon Web Service. In this video, I'll provide you one of the top best resources which you can use to make your journey on the Amazon Web Service Cloud smooth. Top resources which you can use to learn AWS from beginner's level to advanced, all for free. Whether you prefer online resources, whether you prefer videos, whether you prefer documentation, whether you prefer community forums, this video has got you covered. So I expect that by the end of this video, you'll have a roadmap to mastering Amazon Web Service and you landing your first job after going through the diverse resources which I'm offering on this video. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you best free resources which you can use to learn AWS. If this is your first time coming across the channel, hit the subscribe button right away. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for visiting our content. Without wasting so much time, let's get right into the very first free resource which I'm going to be sharing with you is the AWS Free Tier. Now, a lot of people have been learning AWS on their own, or they are looking forward to getting into AWS and they want to actually learn these resources while carrying out hands-on. The Free Tier actually gives you the opportunity to gain hands-on experience with the AWS platform and its products. The Free Tier, you are eligible to gain credits that can help you to have a 12 months free training on the AWS platform. So you have a good number of free trials which you can use or which you can perform on the AWS cloud. You equally have 12 months for free. So during these 12 months, you can carry out as many hands-on exercises as possible on as many services as possible. Now, you want to also take note that on the Free Tier, you can go through the compute services, you can go through database services, you can go through storage services, you can visit container services, web and mobile apps, serverless, and even machine learning services. Now, the Free Tier gives you the ability to carry 750 hours of training on AWS compute resources. That is to say that you can have maybe an Amazon EC2 instance, a Linux instance. You can use 750 hours to do as many hands-on as possible, and you have the ability to have up to 5 gigabit of free storage on S3, RDS 750. So these are the various opportunities, offers which Amazon gives you, and the list continues as many services as possible. For you to create a Free Tier account is very simple. Once you are on this AWS Free Tier site, all you need to do is to click on create free account. It's going to take you to the AWS sign up page. You want to fill this form and you create, if you don't have an account or if you're coming through AWS for the first time, you want to create or sign into an existing account if you do have an account already, or you want to create a new account. The root user address here is the email address which you want to use to create an account, and then you're going to continue, or you verify the email and the steps continue. So you want to create yourself a Free Tier account to get yourself 100% hands-on on AWS. The second resource which I'm going to share with you is the AWS Documentation. The AWS Documentation is one of the major resources which you can have to understand all the services, all their offerings, and all the functionalities of AWS services. So it gives you different guides and references for all AWS services, and most of the services which you see are the compute services. So AWS EC2, AWS Batch, Elastic Beanstalk, all compute services, all AWS services you can think of. You want to visit AWS Documentation to understand how those resources or how those AWS services are functioning. Now, the third resource which I'm going to share with you is the AWS Live. You can go to the AWS Live where they actually carry out real life implementation of some of those services. So if you want to be joining like a webinar where every time you come on the webinar you have access to a particular service being implemented, you want to visit the AWS Live. Call it Build on Live. So that's the name of the site. I'll put the link to all these sites in the description. So as you come to Build on Live, you have access to all the current AWS live events. So these are not events that you're doubting when they are actually live events of services which implementing. So once you're on the AWS Live, you want to click on this twitch.tv.aws and it's going to open the AWS Live where you can see different, it has a list of all AWS live channels where you can visit and you join live maybe to a particular implementation, or where they're talking about a particular service, or where they're talking about a particular project and you want to participate live. If you have questions as far as AWS is concerned, you can ask some of those questions on AWS Live. Visit Build on AWS and you have access to AWS Live transmissions. The next set of resources which I'm sharing are resources based on AWS hands-on tutorials. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button and let's continue with this video. Now, the AWS Workshops is another credible site which you can learn AWS hands-on projects. So maybe you've read about a particular service on the AWS documentation, you have access to your AWS Free Tier, you want to actually follow through the implementation of a particular service, you want to visit AWS Workshops. So AWS Workshops actually is kind of a tutorial oriented platform where you can have a list of thousands of AWS workshops. So all these workshops are workshops that are geared towards helping you understand different concepts. As a DevOps engineer, for example, infrastructure as code is a very important key thing which you need to understand. So once you come to the AWS workshop side and you click on infrastructure as code, you are going to see different workshops which AWS has tailored for infrastructure as code. So these are all DevOps related workshops which you can do and you improve your experience with Amazon Web Service and DevOps practices. Perhaps you're already very familiar with Udemy and you want to actually learn AWS courses on Udemy for free. Udemy also is a learning platform that can help you to learn AWS without you necessarily paying a dime. So once you visit Udemy, you can actually search for AWS courses on Udemy. AWS alone is a cloud platform, but there are several other technologies which you need to learn along your Amazon Web Service. Once you come on Udemy, you have access to all those AWS courses and other courses, maybe Python, maybe Kubernetes, maybe Docker, Ansible, Terraform, and all the like. So you can equally have some of those courses on Udemy. The very last resource which I want to share with you is the AWS Skill Builder. The AWS Skill Builder is one of AWS flagship projects which AWS uses to train people on their platform. There are over 1,000 courses on AWS Skill Builder in different languages. So we have courses in English, in French, in Spanish, in Chinese, in German, in Portuguese, in Italian, as many languages as possible. So it's not restricted to only those who speak English. Courses are video tutorials on different AWS services. Equally, it has the advantage that if you're looking forward to taking your certification on AWS, you can also use Skill Builder to upskill yourself prior to your certifications on AWS. So once you log into AWS Skill Builder, or once you sign up, you have the ability to log in, and it's like the name goes, it's a self-paced learning platform where you can actually learn AWS at your own pace. So there you got it. Those are the free resources which I recommend you use to get yourself through the AWS journey. That's if you are not able to subscribe into an academy. Remember, I shared in one of our past videos the benefits of you enrolling in an academy, because an academy will give you the ability to be guided in your learning process as far as cloud computing and as far as DevOps is concerned. You want to join our DevOps community with the link in the description and get yourself to join other experts along the DevOps and along the cloud space. And if you have not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button right away and get yourself subscribed on our channel, because every time there's a new video which will help you in your journey as a cloud engineer, or in your journey cloud computing, and your journey as a DevOps expert or as a DevOps enthusiast. See you in the next video.